So a gold farm I went over not too long ago has recently gotten significantly better, and this was already one of the best solo gold farms in this expansion, allowing you to make upwards of 100,000 gold an hour completely solo, and you're able to make a lot more gold than that now. Now this farm is so good right now that you're able to bring pretty much any level 70 plus character to this farm and make 100,000 gold an hour, but you're able to make quite a bit more bringing in certain characters with certain professions. So whether you're doing this on a fully geared character with the best professions or just bringing in some level 70 ungeared character with no professions, you're gonna be able to make ridiculous amounts of gold either way. And this farm is gonna revolve around the profane tinderbox, which is a rare crafting material, and these are so valuable because they're used in pretty much all of the end game enchanting recipes. So to get any of the end game enchants, which everybody wants, you need to use profane tinderboxes. So they're going to sell very well, and they're pretty much always going to be pretty valuable. And earlier this week, these were down to like 4,000 or 5,000 gold a piece on US realms. They're currently sitting at around 12,000 gold. And I don't know all the reasons why these are so highly priced again, being at pretty much their peak price. I know one of the reasons is because the glitch within delves that I went over previously as well that would allow you to potentially get more of these has been fixed. I did also hear some people say that the drop rate of these from treasures out in the open world may have been nerfed as well, but the farm we're going over in this video has not been nerfed, so you're still able to farm just as many of these. And you're going to be farming these in the Nightfall Sanctum delve located in Hallowfall. Now there's a few different reasons why you're going to be farming this here, and that boils down to which version of this farm you want to do. Now kind of the base or main way you could go about farming this is just trying to complete the delve as quickly as possible, because looting the chest at the end of any delve has a chance to give you a tinderbox, but Nightfall Sanctum is pretty much the fastest delve in the game, especially if you're doing this with a group. And if you're doing this with a group of 5 different players or maybe even 4 players and they all know what they're doing, just running and completing this delve as quickly as possible may actually be the fastest way to farm these tinderboxes. I've heard you could get, say, upwards of like 15 of these on average an hour if you have a really fast and efficient group. But I did want this video to be a little bit more focused on it being a solo farm. But if you're trying to do it with a group, that's probably going to be the most efficient way. But there's another way to do this very efficiently as a solo player, and this has to do with Brann gathering resources within these delves. So if you don't know, anytime you go in a delve, they will have resource spawns. So either herbalism nodes, mining nodes, or in some delves, including the Nightfall Sanctum, you can also get fishing holes. And if you bring Brann close enough to these and you're not in combat, he'll go and gather on those nodes. And in some of the delves, anytime Brann gathers from some of these nodes, he has a chance to give you a rare resource. But in Nightfall Sanctum, that rare resource that Brann can give you randomly while gathering from any node is the profane tinderbox. So when you're in this delve, anytime Brann gathers any gathering node, you'll have a chance to get a profane tinderbox on top of the resources he would normally give you. And the majority of the times you go into the Nightfall Sanctum, there will be 3 gathering nodes. And this can be pretty much any mix of those 3 gathering nodes. There'll pretty much always be 1 fishing hole, but the other 2 can be herbalism nodes or mining nodes. And that's pretty much what you're going to do as a solo farmer. You're going to go into this delve, you're pretty much just going to jump off the ledge right in front of you, and you're just going to run around and find those 3 nodes. And once you've found those 3 nodes, you're going to right click on your character portrait, go down to leave delve, that'll bring you to the start of the delve. And once you're outside, you're just going to re-enter the delve again. Also, I'd recommend doing this on tier 1. The tiers don't seem to change your chance to get these profane tinderboxes, and that's all you're going to be doing. And what's super nice about delves is they are not actually instances, so you can go in them as many times as you want. There's no lockout like there is with raids or dungeons. So no matter what character you're doing this on, if you're trying to do this solo, this is seemingly the best way to go about farming this. You enter the delve, you go around and look for the 3 different gathering nodes, you have Brann gather them, leave the delve, re-enter, rinse, and repeat. Now, there's a lot of ways you can optimize this. The first one being play a class that has stealth. So primarily this would be the rogue or the druid. I think the druid is probably going to be the best just because your out of combat movement is super good. I know rogue still has some pretty good movement as well, so either of those are going to be really good, mode, and this will just allow you to move around in stealth much more easily to get to the nodes without having to fight as many enemies. And also, if it's not a node that you can gather from, say an herbalism or a mining node, you can just bring Brann near one of those nodes and Brann will gather it no matter if he's walking directly through enemies, because until you aggro something, Brann won't aggro them. So if Brann physically walks through an enemy, he doesn't aggro it. But that also brings us into how to optimize this farm for even more gold, and this would entail having a gathering character. Now, a lot of people who've been playing WoW for a long time and like to do any professions will usually have a character with herbalism and mining on it, dual gathering professions, because that will allow you to just make a lot of gold, especially at the start of expansions. So if you have a character with mining and herbalism, especially with a lot of specialization points, bring that character in here and you'll earn a lot more gold, because you'll just also be gathering the mining and herbalism nodes every time Brann does. Now, I would very much recommend you don't gather from the fishing holes, because getting these profane tinderboxes can only come from Brann when he gathers the nodes. You gathering the nodes can't give you the tinderboxes, but if you have a character specialized into herbalism and mining to where you're going to be getting good resources every time you gather, you might as well gather the herbalism and mining nodes, and you'll be able to track all three of these nodes, making it much easier to find them much more quickly. So if you're like me and have a druid that already has herbalism and mining and is spec pretty heavily into those, that'll make you the most amount of gold per hour. In fact, if you get a little bit lucky, you could definitely be earning upwards of 150,000 gold an hour solo right now. Now, I think on average, if the prices of the tinderboxes stay similar to what they are right now, your average gold per hour is going to be closer to like 125,000 gold. That's still absolutely ridiculous. Getting a consistent 125,000 gold per hour in a solo farm that's pretty easy to do is ridiculous and doesn't come around that often. And you could also do other stuff if you want to optimize this farm even more. You could get speed gear so you can move more quickly. You could spec into talents that allow you to move much more quickly. Make sure you have any of like the big movement skills you can possibly get. You can also get Dark Moon Firewater so you can gather faster if you're on a gathering character. So there's a handful of ways you can optimize this even more. Pretty much no matter what you bring in here, you should be able to earn upwards of 100,000 gold per hour just having Brann run around and gather all of these nodes, get all of these tinder boxes, and go put them on the auction house, and they're selling instantly. I'll have some footage in here of me putting some up. They pretty much instantly sell. They're right around 12,000 gold. Even if they go back down to like 10,000 gold, you should be able to pretty consistently get 10 plus tinder boxes per hour, making 100,000 or more gold per hour. But that's pretty much all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.
Ships are coming for us! Let's have a quick sit down to recover.